You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These are the words of Marcus Aurelius, a man who was not only an emperor of Rome, but also a philosopher king. During his reign, he penned his thoughts and insights, creating a wealth of wisdom that has transcended centuries. This collection, known as Meditations, is more than just a book. It's a mirror to the soul, a guide to self-discovery, and a beacon for those seeking tranquility in a turbulent world. Marcus Aurelius taught us to understand the power of our own minds, to live fully in the present, to accept the inevitability of death, and to recognize the impermanence of life. But above all, he taught us the importance of virtue and the role it plays in our lives. Join us on a journey through the wisdom of a man who ruled an empire but still found time for introspection. The power of the mind is a recurring theme in Marcus Aurelius's teachings. This Roman emperor was not only a leader of men but also a philosopher who understood the profound influence our minds have over our lives. Marcus Aurelius believed that inner strength was a fortress. It's the ability to withstand adversity, to remain calm in the face of life's storms. It's not about ignoring the challenges we face, but rather about how we choose to react to them. You see, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can always control our reactions to those events. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a downpour, drenched to the bone. You can't stop the rain, but you can choose to seek shelter. The same principle applies to life's metaphorical storms. You can't control the actions of others, the whims of fate, or the unpredictability of life. But you can choose to not let these external events disturb your inner peace. The potential impact of this principle on both personal and professional life is nothing short of transformative. Consider stress management. We often feel stressed when we feel out of control. But if we realize that we have control over our reactions, suddenly the stress loses its power. It's like deflating a balloon. The balloon only expands as long as we keep blowing air into it. The moment we stop, it starts to deflate. Then there's decision-making. How often have you made a decision in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? When we let external events dictate our decisions, we're giving away our power. But when we take a moment to step back, to breathe, to think, we're able to make more informed and rational decisions. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of a storm, remember Marcus Aurelius's teachings. Remember that you have an inner fortress, that you have the power to control your reactions. Remember that you can choose to seek shelter instead of getting drenched. Remember you have power over how you interpret the world around you. Marcus Aurelius taught us to focus on the present moment. This is a profound lesson that carries weight in our modern lives, where distractions are plentiful and constant. The present moment is where life is happening, where we can engage, where we can truly live. Yet we often find ourselves either locked in the past or anxiously anticipating the future. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, believed in mindfulness, the practice of being fully aware and present in the now. It's about giving your full attention to what you're doing, to the people you're with, to the thoughts and emotions you're experiencing right this moment. Not yesterday's regrets, not tomorrow's worries, but now. Living in the present moment can have a profound impact on our mental health. It allows us to let go of past mistakes, future anxieties, and instead focus on the task at hand. This can reduce stress levels, improve focus, and lead to a more balanced, fulfilling life. Furthermore, productivity thrives in the present moment. When we're fully engaged in a task, free from the shackles of past failures or future expectations, we can truly give our best. We can innovate, create, and solve problems more effectively. But remember, this is a practice. It takes time and patience. It's about making a conscious effort to bring yourself back to the present moment again and again. The past is gone, the future is uncertain. All we have is now. So let's embrace it, let's live it fully. Marcus Aurelius would have wanted nothing less. Aurelius teaches us to not fear death, but to accept it as a part of life. This is a fundamental principle of Stoicism, the philosophy that Aurelius practiced and preached. It's a viewpoint that may seem daunting at first, but it holds a profound wisdom. You see, the Stoics viewed death not as an end, but as a natural process, an inevitable step in the cycle of life. They believed that by accepting death, we can alleviate many of the fears and anxieties that plague our minds. It's about understanding that our time here is not infinite, and therefore each moment holds a precious value. Imagine for a moment the peace that comes with this acceptance. Knowing that death is a part of life can free us from the shackles of fear. It can inspire us to live more fully, to treasure each interaction, each experience, and each breath. It's a reminder that our existence is transient, and in that transience lies a beauty and poignancy that can truly enrich our lives. It's not about being morbid or pessimistic, rather, it's about embracing the full spectrum of life in all its complexities and uncertainties. It's about living with courage and authenticity, knowing that our time here is limited. So, as Aurelius and the Stoics would urge us, let's not shy away from the reality of death. Instead, let's accept it with open arms as an integral part of our existence. Death is a part of life, and it is not to be feared but accepted. For Aurelius, virtue was the highest good. A cornerstone of his teachings, virtue was more than a mere concept. It was a way of life, a compass guiding every thought, every action. Aurelius perceived virtue as the foundation of human character, the thread that weaves together the fabric of society. He believed that a person's virtue is the true measure of their worth, not their wealth or status. In his eyes, a virtuous person is one who acts with integrity, compassion, and humility, regardless of the circumstances they encounter. But what does this mean for us, you may wonder? Well, embracing virtue can have a profound impact on our lives. It can change the way we interact with others, the way we perceive ourselves, and the way we navigate the world around us. Let's consider our personal lives. By acting virtuously, we foster trust and respect in our relationships. We become more understanding, more forgiving. We create a safe space for open and honest communication. This not only strengthens our bonds, but also promotes personal growth. We learn to accept others for who they are, to appreciate their unique perspectives, and to value their contributions to our lives. Now let's turn our attention to the professional realm. In a world where competition is fierce and success is often equated with ruthlessness, virtue can be a game changer. It can set us apart, make us stand out. By acting with integrity, we build trust. We show that we are reliable, that we can be counted on. This not only improves our relationships with colleagues and superiors, but also enhances our reputation. We become known as someone who does the right thing, even when no one is watching. But perhaps the most compelling aspect of virtue is its potential to bring about true happiness. Aurelius believed that happiness comes not from external factors, but from within. It is a state of being, a result of living in accordance with our values and principles. Virtue is the only good. It is within our control and leads to true happiness. So, let's strive to cultivate virtue in our lives. Let's strive to be the best versions of ourselves. After all, as Aurelius taught us, virtue is the key to a fulfilling life. Aurelius teaches us about the fleeting nature of life. This ancient wisdom, imbued with a profound understanding of the human condition, is as applicable today as it was 2,000 years ago. The concept of impermanence is central to Aurelius's philosophy. It's the understanding that everything in life, from our emotions to our bodies, from our achievements to our failures, is transient. They are like waves on the ocean, rising and falling, but never staying the same. This realization is not meant to make us melancholic or fearful, but rather to help us appreciate the beauty of the present moment, the now, which is all we truly have. Imagine a world where we truly understand that our time here is limited. It can dramatically shift our perspective, can't it? We begin to see that the constant pursuit of more money, more possessions, more status is a misguided quest. After all, we can't take any of it with us when we depart from this world. This understanding can lead us to a less materialistic and more fulfilled life. Grasping the idea of impermanence also allows us to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude. We start to appreciate the simple, everyday things. A warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a loved one, the feeling of the sun on our skin. These are the moments that make up our lives, the moments that we too often take for granted. Aurelius's teachings remind us to stop rushing through life, constantly looking towards the future or dwelling in the past. Instead, he encourages us to slow down, to savor the present, to truly live. So the next time you find yourself getting caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, remember Aurelius's wisdom. Remember that our time here is fleeting, that we are mere travelers passing through. Let this knowledge guide your actions, shape your decisions, and lead you to a more fulfilling, more meaningful existence. Everything is fleeting. Appreciate the present. Marcus Aurelius's teachings have endured for nearly 2,000 years. This is a testament to their timelessness and the profound truth they hold within. We've explored 10 of his most influential teachings, each bearing a unique wisdom that can change our perspectives and shape our lives. Firstly, we delved into the power of the mind. Our thoughts shape our reality. It's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. By controlling our mind, we can control our world. Next, we learned about the importance of living in the present. The past is gone, the future is not yet here. All we have is now. By focusing on the present, we can make the most of each moment and live a more fulfilling life. We also face the acceptance of death. Recognizing our mortality can free us from the fear of the inevitable, allowing us to fully embrace life and live it with courage and purpose. The power of virtue was our next lesson. Virtue is the highest good, the source of our happiness and fulfillment. By striving to be virtuous, we can lead a life of integrity and purpose. Lastly, we reflected on the impermanence of life. Nothing lasts forever. By accepting this truth, we can appreciate what we have, let go of what we've lost, and find peace in the ever-changing nature of existence. These teachings of Marcus Aurelius, while ancient, still hold relevance in our modern lives. They offer guidance in navigating our personal and professional lives with wisdom and virtue. They encourage us to reflect on our actions, our thoughts, and our values, leading us towards a path of self-improvement and personal growth. So, as we conclude, let us remind ourselves to not merely listen to these teachings, but to embody them, to make them a part of our daily lives. Let us strive to be better, to do better, to live better. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one.